Okay, guys. In the last video, I had mentioned that be prepared, start preparing in minor ways. Don't get in a hurry about this because I don't know if it's going to be globally the entire northern hemisphere, or if it's going to be specific areas of the northern hemisphere or what. But I mentioned preparing for a very, 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 very harsh winter, and here we are. And this is just looking at Nebraska right here, and this is 39 degrees, 36, 39. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some mountains in these areas, and that's basically where these cooler temperatures are coming from. But you can see 40 degrees, and you can see all these kinds of things. Now, what I want you to realize is that you're seeing 30s and 40s this morning, and we're barely, just barely into September. We're in summertime, guys. We haven't even made it to fall yet. So just keep these things in mind as we move forward toward winter. Like I said, guys, you've got to be prepared. Just very gradually, slowly, as you can afford it. Don't get in a hurry. Don't go get no loans. Father will take care of you. Don't worry, okay? But begin to prepare. Make sure you got, a mummy bag if you live up north where it can get well below 0 Fahrenheit. And if you live far enough north, below 0 degrees Celsius. But anyways, a mummy bag, make sure you've got like a aluminum can, like when you go drink a soda, keep that aluminum can, and get you a real thin, small candle that you can light and stick down that can. You'll be surprised how much heat that little bitty can, that aluminum can, will put off inside of a tent or whatever. Just make sure you put the aluminum can onto a rock or something inside the tent. That way it don't melt the tent. Just simple things, guys. Make sure you have blankets in the trunk of your car, or under your seat in the car, or whatever. Just basic things, guys. Maybe a case of water from the dollar store for, $1 or $2 or whatever. Just toss that in the trunk. That way, if you're stranded in the middle of winter because there's a blizzard or a whiteout condition, or you get stuck or whatever, you've got what you need to survive until help comes, or until you can make it to where help is. Either way. But again, guys, I do not know at this point if it's going to be the entire northern hemisphere that's going to have one of the most extreme, harshest winters that it's ever seen, or if it's going to be like given areas only of the northern hemisphere. I don't know at this point how that's going to work. I just know that somewhere large areas are going to have extremely harsh times this winter. And again, guys, now, I've zoomed out, you can't see, but the blue, which this is all mountain range, guys, this is all high elevation. The blue is in the 30s, okay, and we're in summertime. We haven't even made it to fall, okay? Just keep these things in mind. Like I said, that is a very, very powerful low pressure system up there in Canada, having a tail that literally swoops all the way down across over to the Pacific Ocean. This is not a minor low pressure system, guys. This thing has powerful winds pushing down from the north. When it rolled through last night, guys, we had gusts all the way up to 50 miles per hour, and that's not even up here at the eye of the low pressure system. That's down on a tail. That's just the wind coming from the backside of the low pressure system, from the north and the west, from the north and from the northwest. Okay, and this is summertime. Okay, we have not moved into fall yet. That hasn't even begun. But I've noticed down here in Texas that a lot of the trees have already begun to shift colors. Now, I'm in northern Texas, kind of north of Dallas, Fort Worth area, kind of up close toward the river. Okay? Where I am, some of the creeks still have water, and some of the creeks are completely and utterly 100% bone dry. But even the trees that are connected to the creeks that still have the running water in them, even those trees are beginning to change colors. So it has nothing to do with the drought. Okay? Not only that, if you look at the various kinds of plants, they're already beginning to bud out. Way too early. Okay? Not all trees are changing, but nature. Father has established nature's rules and programming in such a way that it's extremely smart. It knows when to shed its leaves, when to change, when to move. What's it called? The stuff that's in a tree, the sap, down into its roots so that it don't get frozen in the wintertime. It knows when to start shifting these things around. Okay, it's pre-programmed into these things. You know, how do they know to face the sun to get the chlorophyll and all these kind of things, right? Okay, it's all pre-programmed by Father. Creation is absolutely crystal clear if you just look. Okay, everything glorifies Father. But I just wanted to make mention that here we are. Let's see if I can get this to pop up on the screen. September 8th. That won't be on your screen. September 8th, 2012. Okay, and we're already seeing low, very, very, very low 40s as far south as the panhandle of Oklahoma, just to the north, and right just barely to the border. Watch, we get down in here. Okay, just barely to the north of the border. You've got a little bit here and a little bit of 40s even in Texas, in the panhandle of Texas, where they can get bitter cold sometimes. Okay, and we're in the summertime, guys. Just keep all that in mind, and just keep in mind that yesterday, where I am, just north of Dallas Fort Worth here, up by the river, we hit 105 degrees. Now I don't know what the official record was down there in Dallas. That's where they keep the official records. But where we were, we hit 105 degrees. I think Dallas hit 106, but I don't know what the actual official temperature was recorded yesterday. But 105 yesterday. This morning, here we are waking up in the 60s. And I mean, because it was so hot, when you walk outside this morning, it's almost like you need to put an Eskimo suit on. It's really, really cold. Because we have gotten so used to literally living in an oven. So these warm temperatures that are in the 60s are very cold to us. Well, at least to me. Maybe not. I'm not going to speak for everybody because I'm not everybody. But for me, you know, I walked out this morning. I was like, my goodness! I went back in and put a shirt on. Normally in the morning, I get up, make me a cup of coffee, and go sit outside and enjoy my morning. This morning, I had to go. I made me a cup of coffee, went and sat outside, turned right back around, went back inside, and put a shirt on because it was just too cold. I just couldn't take it. So, anyways, guys, summertime. Okay. Now again, I still don't know if we're talking about the United States is the one that's going to have this harsh winter, or if we're talking about the entirety of the northern hemisphere, or if we're talking about just the Middle East, or what. I don't know, guys, at this point. All I know is that in some way, form, or fashion, there's going to be large areas, at the very least, that are going to be experiencing an extremely harsh winter. And you need to begin and start to prepare for that. Okay, if you have a generator, make sure it's in running order. Okay, that kind of stuff. Make sure you've got your water, food supply. You know, something that's going to get you through 2 or 3 days in case you're caught up in a blizzard, or you're caught up, maybe you're driving down the road and your motor freezes up. I don't know. Okay, but you just got to have the simple things that you need to survive. Something to keep you warm, things to keep you warm, things to eat, and things to drink. Those are the basics until help comes, or until you can make it to where there is help. Okay? Just simple things, guys. Don't go out here and spend hundreds of billions of dollars in preparation. Get out there and just get those things that you absolutely are going to need if something goes wrong. It's good to have anyway. Remember, Father says, pray that your flight is not in the wintertime. Okay? You don't want it to be in the wintertime or the Sabbath. Because you're not supposed to be doing any work on the Sabbath. 6 days you're supposed to work, and on the 7th day rest. Why? Because it's foreshadowing that man is going to reign and to rule for 6,000 years, doing whatever he wills and sows to do, which turns out it's all wickedness. I mean, that's all that man does. We do wicked things. It's unbelievable. But he's coming at that last part. Man's going to rest. He's going to stand up and he's going to reign and rule, and he's going to do it in righteousness. The age of righteousness will be upon us. All the wickedness is going to be done away with. Okay, it's going to be done away with. Look, any nation that won't come up and celebrate the holy days and worship the Messiah, who's reigning and ruling as the king of all the other kings of all the nations, if they won't come and bow down to him and all that kind of stuff, they simply just don't get rain for an entire year. Okay? He's just. All right? You don't have to come worship me. It says every knee shall bow, but you don't have to come and worship me. Okay? I just ain't going to let you have any rain until you bow down and realize I am the Christ, I am righteous, I love you, and I want to take care of you. Not me, not the growing awareness. I'm talking about Yeshua himself. The Mashiach, the Messiah. Jesus. Okay? So there's going to come the age of righteousness in due time. But it does say that he might tarry. So, you know, it's not going to be exactly at the year 6,000. We're already at the year 6012, plus or minus about 10 years. There's a 10-year plus or minus gap there where you cannot be absolutely certain as to the date. But you're somewhere right around there. But you know, it's pretty clear that he's going to tarry a little bit, and then that people are going to run out of oil. Okay, half of them are. So there's going to be some tarrying going on. But all I wanted to do, guys, is just show you here that, you know, this early in September, and here we are seeing really cold temperatures. Okay? Don't get me wrong, 60s aren't really cold. In fact, 60s are the norm down here. Okay, so, I mean, well, 60s, 70s. That's the norm down here. But my point is, sudden changes, sudden changes, and we're in the summertime. Okay, getting ready to shift into the fall. But we haven't made it there yet. Okay? Anyways, guys, get in the Word, stay in the Word. Get the Word in you. I love you guys. Let's just switch this up just for a second. There's your frontal line. Still going on. Still got the rain, guys. All the way over basically to the Pacific, or at least to the Baja California, the Gulf of California here. Okay? It's still there, and it's still moving along. As far as I know, there has not been any tornadoes, and that's great. But a lot of strong cells, damaging winds, that kind of thing. Like I said, when the winds came through last night, we had sustained winds in the 20 to 25 range. But we had gusts that were pushing up 40, 45 mile an hour. I mean, they were pushing it. They were getting way up there. It was I mean, you could hear the house. You know how the house creaks when a gust just suddenly hits it? You could hear that kind of stuff. But anyway, just get ready, guys. Like I said, don't go out here and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Get the things that you need to be able to survive for a period of time. That's it. Okay? And take your time. Winter's not here yet. It's coming. But just start preparing. Just get a little bit here and there. Get you a sleeping bag. Save up a little bit more money. Get you a candle. Save up a little bit more money. Go buy a case of water. You know, just very slowly, very gradually. It shouldn't have any effect on your budget. You know, I'm telling you these things way out ahead of time, so that you can gradually get your stuff together and it's not a burden to you. Okay? And there's no reason to go out here and spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Remember, the scripture says, "Watch therefore and pray always that you are counted worthy to escape all that shall come to pass and to stand in the presence of the Son of Man." You can escape every single thing that's coming, guys. Every single thing. You have to be watching. In other words, be prepared, paying attention, being prepared. You got to pray. And when you do these two things, guys, He's going to carry you through these things. So, like I said, Father has your back. If you trust Him, if you believe Him, and you've stopped listening to man, and you're on track with the Father, then you know Father has your back. You know what to do. You know that, you know what, I got to prepare, but if I don't get everything together and I don't have it right, Father has my back, and He will get me through it. It may be hard, it may be rough, it may be a challenging time. I might have a little suffering involved in it. But who of all the prophets, and who of all the people of old, and who of all the apostles, and so forth and so on, has not struggled, has not had hard times, has not faced affliction and tribulation? Okay? They all did. And we will. So get used to it. But He carried them through it, and He brought them out the other side. They escaped. And so it can be with you. If you believe Him, and you're trusting Him, and your trust is in Him, not in yourself and not in man, in Him. Not in the growing awareness, in Him. It's all about Him. Okay, guys. Get in the Word, stay in the Word. Get the Word in you. Talk with you guys soon.